Hey guys, and welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about hyped up makeup products. These are products that have been very hyped up on the internet, whether it be TikTok, Instagram, or on the YouTube space here. Products that I have personally seen myself that have been hyped up or talked about by like big YouTubers that I watch. I'm gonna go through and tell you which of these I think are worth the hype, not worth hype, and then talk about some products that I think deserve more hype than they get. Disclaimer, these are my opinions. That doesn't mean that the products that they say aren't worth the hype are bad. This is just my opinion, and I was let down when I tried them. Does that make sense? I hope so. I have a big basket right here to go through, so I'm gonna go through these as quickly as possible. My entire face today are products that I'm talking about, so let's just go through these. I think I'm gonna start with products that are worth the hype. All right, first product that I own that I think is worth the hype are Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks. I only have this one, and this is JK Magic, and this is probably one of the most talked about of the Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks other than Pillow Talk. I have heard a lot of people love on this, and this is definitely my favorite lipstick. I would love to have many Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks, but they cost quite a bit of money, so I have this one and I love it very dearly. All right, next one that is worth the hype, the Kosas Cloud Sat Powder. As soon as this came out, it kind of blew up here on YouTube, and I had to try it because it is like a kind of weightless feeling powder that's supposed to set but keep your skin still looking hydrated. And I've got to say, I personally love this powder, and I think there is some magic to this stuff. It can set your face. It doesn't completely take away the tacky feeling if you have like a really dewy foundation, but it sets your face but keeps that slight healthy glow of the foundation underneath. I don't know how they did this, but this is definitely one of my favorite powders that I've ever tried, and I have used quite a bit of this. This will definitely be a product that I repurchase over and over. I love this. It looks like the hinge is starting to break. I hope that doesn't actually break. Anyways, I love this. The packaging is beautiful. Definitely worth the hype in my opinion. We're gonna go on to another powder, which I feel like this could be in two categories. This is worth the hype, and I think it deserves more hype. I have seen some people talking about this, and it's like one of their #1 sellers, but I think that it needs to be talked about even more, and that's the Laura Geller Baked Balance and Brighten Foundation Powder Foundation. I love this so much. I've gone through three or four of these, and this one is almost gone. I need to repurchase this. I keep saying that. I've talked about this a lot lately, but I do really love this powder. It's one that I use to set my makeup most days. Sometimes I actually use both of these powders in different areas, but this product is worth the hype and deserves a lot more hype than it actually gets. Next up is the Milk Makeup Bronzer Stick. I think that this has gotten hype for a few years now. It's definitely been talked about. Mine's very dirty. It's definitely been talked about a lot here on YouTube, and I think it definitely deserves it. It was the first cream bronzer that I used. It's very user-friendly. The color works really well for my personal skin tone. I have the shade Matte Bronzer Baked, but this is just the little mini, and I personally don't see any reason why you would need to buy the full size. I have had this for well over a year, and I use it a lot. It's barely gone down any. There is a lot of product in here for it being a mini, and please go back down. Hold on. I definitely think this product is worth the hype. The next one I think is worth the hype. I'm gonna say hype many times in this video, so please don't do a shot when I say it. This is the Ilia Limitless Lash Mascara. This I wasn't expecting to love because of the wand on it, but I actually fell in love with this mascara, and it's one of the only high-end mascaras that I will purchase at full price. A lot of high-end mascaras I won't buy because there's so many good drugstore ones, but this one is something special. I really enjoy this mascara. The next one, this came out, and really the packaging is kind of what got the buzz around this product, but I believe this is worth the hype. For me, I've seen conflicting opinions on this. Some people love it, some people hate it, but I really love this. This is the Bite Beauty Daycation Whipped Blush, and this is the shade Watermelon Marge. When I did first impressions on this, I didn't know how well the packaging was gonna work, and how long it was gonna last, but it's very easy to control how much comes out. A little bitty dot goes a long way. I think this will last a very long time. It feels cooling on the skin. It stays on the skin really well on me. And this particular shade at least has a nice glow without being glittery. I really, really like this. That is all of the worth the hype category. Let's go on to the ones that might possibly get people mad at me, but these ones I think are not worth the hype. Let's start with the one that people will most likely hate the most that I'm saying this. Natasha Denona shadows. I don't think they're worth the hype. I have tried to love them. I have bought them. I have used them. I'm wearing them right now, but I don't think they're worth the hype and the price tag. I'm gonna specifically talk about the Love palette right now because it's what I used, and this one, several people that I watch have just talked about this over and over, how much they love the Love palette. But I did a video on it. I did several looks on this. I don't know, it was a 3 or 7 look video on this. I have used all these shades many, many times. Every time I use it, I'm just kind of disappointed. It doesn't look the greatest to me. They don't work the easiest. I want to love Natasha Denona shadows more, but for me, they're not worth the hype. But I felt like people keep talking about it. I'm like, what am I missing? So I don't know if I just have the wrong palettes, but yeah, don't hate me. I don't think Natasha Denona is worth the hype. There's another one that people are like die hard love for, and I hear so many people talk about, and that's the Laneige sleeping mask, lip sleeping mask. And I just don't like it. It doesn't work for me. I feel like it dries my lips out more when I use it consistently. It's not worth the hype for me. This one is one I have seen several people talk about throughout the last few years, but that's whenever it came out. That's the Maybelline City Bronzer. I bought this on vacation recently, and I just don't get the hype. I mean, the bronzer is fine. It's a little bit too yellow toned for me. I have the shade 100. It's the lightest shade. I do like that there's different shades for this bronzer. A lot of drugstore bronzers, there's one. It takes a while to build up, which I don't mind having to build up a bronzer, but I just feel like it takes a lot to get the color to show up with this one. I don't know, it's very beginner friendly if you want just a little light wash of bronzer, but I just expected more out of it, and with the hype that it got, was a little bit let down. This is a very, very recent hype. This has been sold out everywhere. I've been trying to get my hands on it and finally got my hands on it, and it's the L'Oreal True Match. This is their new Hyaluronic Tinted Serum Foundation. I have the shade 0.5 to 2, very light. I expected this to be great with the hype that it got and how it's been sold out, and people have been raving about this. I am wearing this one right now. I just don't like it. I don't hate it, but it's not one that made me stop and go, wow. There's very little coverage for me on it. And it doesn't make my skin look great. It doesn't make my skin necessarily look worse, but it doesn't look the greatest on my skin. I was just very underwhelmed by this, and there's definitely other foundations that are in this type and formula that I prefer over this. Lash Princess mascaras. I actually have done a Lash Princess mascara video. That was like last year, and then I also reviewed the brand new one with 10 Essence mascaras, and I think there are other mascaras in the Essence line that are better than the Lash Princess. I will say the newest Lash Princess, the Curl and Volume, is the best one for me personally, but I think the Lash Princess line itself is a little bit overhyped. I think that there are other mascaras within the Essence mascara line that are better. Man, the not worth the hype products are gonna get me. People are gonna hate me in these comments. Okay, the pricey one here, we have the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. This one was hyped up quite a while ago, but I never got my hands on it, so I recently tried it, and I just don't really get it. It doesn't really minimize my pores. I've tried it several times with several foundations. Just not worth a $52 price tag in my opinion. I think there are drugstore pore filling primers that do a better job. This is just not worth that hype. On to the fun products. These are the ones I think deserve more love, more hype. Some of these may have a little bit of hype around them, but some of them don't get talked about at all. So Let's start with one that people don't talk about, and that is the CoverGirl CG Smoothers. I think this is amazing. So this one to me was just blah. This is amazing. This is a very light coverage, similar coverage to that. It could be very sheer if you put a little bit on. It could be light coverage, but it's one that you can just throw on with your fingers really quick, and it kind of plumps up and smooths the skin. More people need to try this. More people need to talk about this. I really, really love the CoverGirl CG Smoothers. I'm sorry, I seem to be losing my voice. Let's see if I can get through the rest of these. If you've watched my channel at all, you already know this, but the Guerlain foundation is my favorite. I've seen a handful of people talk about it, but not near enough. This is my #1 foundation. It's the Guerlain L'Essential Natural Glow Foundation 16-hour wear. They have a newer version that's not available in the US yet. It's like a more matte version that I will try eventually, but I really, really love this. More people need to try it. And for Guerlain, it's not that expensive. It's $60. But when I saw Guerlain, I expected it to be like $120. So $60, you can get it at Sephora. I really, really love this foundation. Next up is the Jouer Duo Bronzer. I think when this came out, people talked about it, but I really, really love this. This is in the shade Flirt. So we have Kiss Me and Touch Me, these two blushes, but this one right here is the one that I wear all the time. It's the softest, most beautiful pink, and it has a very light glow to it. So I don't have to wear a highlight. I just put this on and my cheeks glow. I love this so much. Sometimes I'll mix them both when I want a little bit more pink, but and the packaging of this, I love it. And the mirror, I use this to do my makeup. It's a beautiful size. I love this. Okay, I'm still going. This did have some hype, but I think it needs to continue. The hype on this needs to continue. People need to talk about this. And this is the Sydney Grace and Temptalia palettes. There's 3 of them, but I have the, I think it's On the Horizon light version, and these shadows are amazing. I know Sydney Grace has had some hype, but this palette in particular, I love the colors, I love the performance, I love everything about this palette. Viseart. Now, I haven't really heard a whole lot about Viseart in my YouTube space that I watch, but I tried Viseart this year, and this is the Violet Étendue palette, and this is my favorite purple palette I've ever tried. It performs beautifully. I love the color selection. This is gorgeous. I want to try out more from Viseart, but I really think this particular palette needs some more hype because it is stunning. Concealers that I think deserve more hype is the Milk Makeup Flex Concealer. I have gone through like 4 tubes of this. This one, I'm scraping the sides. I love this so much, and it's not like too expensive for a high-end concealer. And a drugstore concealer that I have re-fallen in love with is the Catrice Liquid Camouflage. This had a lot of hype years ago, but I think more people need to talk about this. This is waterproof. It's very good coverage. It sets down. You don't have to set it, and it's absolutely beautiful. I tested this in my waterproof makeup video, and it did not budge. I was swimming in a pool for 30 minutes, did not budge. So this is a really, really great concealer. 2 more products. Kosas Brow Pop. I love this. I love that it is a triangular tip, but it's not too giant. It's a perfect size for me. This, I think, is in the shade Taupe. I really, really love the packaging of this. It makes it more fun for me, but aside from the packaging, the product inside is really great, and this is the only brow pencil I'm using at the moment. Last product that I think needs more hype is the Flower Beauty Gel Crush Lip and Cheek. I love this on my lips. I use it as blush sometimes, but I love this on my lips. I'm putting this on top of the Charlotte Tilbury lipstick, but I love that I can just swipe this on. It smells like a Starburst candy. It's beautiful and will last me forever. Deserve way more hype. All right, guys, so that's gonna wrap it up. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know, do you agree, do you disagree on some of these products? Let me know if you have products that you think need more hype than they get, because I would like to know your opinion as well. All right, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy this, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already and wanna see future videos, hit that subscribe button down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Stay gorgeous, bye. I think I have lipstick on my teeth. And tell you. All right, next one that is worth the hype.